for real estate school. So I started working right away, and I did housekeeping, and that was interesting. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I'm an open book, so I don't know how much I can share. I'm legal
And
now, but I wasn't always legal, if you know what I mean. So, um, we just there's a certain time that you can stay here. Your visa expires, and
yeah,
then you have to do what you got to do to obtain it and to be able to continue to stay here legally. So I did housekeeping. Not long after, I started waitressing and started bartending in different places, and I basically did that for ever.
hmm. How was so then you're bartending, waitressing, just doing what you can, right? When did you decide real estate? Like when did that come into to play for you?
I was getting to the point where things were getting very tough. The hours were getting to me. A lot of my shifts were still night shifts. I was managing a restaurant and a bar for my friends, and I was the last one that would leave. I was in charge of all the paperwork and counting the money,
Yeah.
so I wouldn't get home sometimes until 5 a.m. So it was really tough. And then I only had my daughter Lily, and I feel like just the hours and the stress was getting to me. I wasn't financially satisfied or mentally. I needed more, and I knew that I could do more. So I was already playing with that idea. But, honestly, who really put it in my head to think about it seriously was now my husband.
Hmm.
Um, and I have my friend Bill's mentioned it a couple of times. He's like, "Well, why don't you try real estate?" And then I'm kind of everything has to be my idea. I'm like, yeah, 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 yeah. So I think I pondered on that thought for about a year, and then I was like, you know what, I'm going to try it. Um, I was kind of forced to quit my other job completely because I had some back issues, and I had some herniated discs and sciatica, and I could not work. It was very, very difficult. And back then, I was the last place I was in Ocean Club, and that's when I already passed the exam. I joined a brokerage, and I was going to do it part time and still work at Ocean Club. And it just didn't work out that way. So I just hit real estate
Did
full
you
throttle, really.
did did you have any desire or love for real estate, or it was just like, hey, you should probably do this because you have a certain skill set?
Honestly, I am big on connecting. I mean, that's kind of what you have to do in bar business. I mean, you
Hmm.
people come and they want to be heard. They want to talk to you, and they will tell you their life stories. And you add alcohol. I mean, they will tell you things that they probably normally wouldn't. So I think that prepared me for real estate, because a lot of times I feel like we are our clients' therapists, right? They tell us things that depending on how close you become, um, then they share things that they would necessarily wouldn't always share with other people.
Yeah.
And it also depends on the individuals and the connections that you make with them. But so I always knew that I wanted to work with people, but I also knew that I didn't want to go to school for 4 or 5 years. So it was
Yeah.
kind of like, okay, what am I going to do? I'm pretty good in sales. I could really, sell anything.
Yeah.
And I always treated people with respect, and I always wanted everybody to feel special when they come in. And it doesn't matter if I was working in a biker bar that was a hole in a wall, or if I was working in an ocean club. I wanted people to feel welcome, and I wanted them to feel special, and I wanted them to feel like they can come back, and I'll be there, and I'll be there a year, and they can have a good time and leave all the worries outside. And then that kind of brought me to real estate. So
Did
I said, I'll try it. I went to school, and here I am.
did we ever figure out? Because I think you work at the Dub Pub?
I did for a little bit. Yeah.
Do you remember what years those were?
Gosh, I hardly remember what was
I
last
can't.
week,
I can't
honestly.
remember if I can't remember if you were maybe
Okay, let me
working.
think. Let me think. So I was dating Brent, who I'm married to now. And I think we met in 2011. So it would have been around that time.
That's so funny because that's when I would have been going to the Dub Pub for my lunch because Ryan and I, we worked at Keller Williams Consultants.
That is so funny.
So right around the corner. And 2011, I got married to my first wife, and I joke, 2012, I got divorced from my first wife, and
Oh,
that was where we went. So you probably heard all my worries and struggles back then. We just didn't know it.
I don't know. I feel like I am pretty good at remembering, so I would
Yeah,
maybe it was the one of the other girls that
yeah.
your
I
ear
love
than me.
that
I
that
would
Keno that
remember.
that Keno machine took a lot of our money.
Oh, I bet.
That's so funny. That's so funny. So you're tired of the late nights, and it's one of the things like bartenders, waiters, waitresses. You guys, it's a fairly, I don't want to say a smooth transition into real estate, because it's not, because you have to adjust lifestyle. It's a huge lifestyle change. But you guys already have half of the gift that you need in order to be a great real estate agent. And that is to be able to connect with people,
Yeah.
right? And to make them feel comfortable, to talk to you, to open up to you, and do all of those things. And we have several of former bartenders and waiters and waitresses on our team. And I tell people, that are thinking about trying to build a team and where to go and find like new agents, I'm like, go talk to bartenders, waitresses, and waitresses,
Mhm.
waiters. And because you guys have that gift of that connection, right? And so you get tired of living that lifestyle, right? Going in, working late, getting home, early in the morning, get into real estate. What was that initial process like? Did you have any doubters when you first did it? Did you have any supporters? I'm always curious about that, right? Because some people, the doubters give them that fire to go and prove them wrong. And some people, it's no, everyone supported me, and, they were around me, and they made it easier for me. What was that like for you?
So I didn't really ask for other people's opinions or what they thought. I think that like the person that I, whose whose opinion I value the most is my mom, and I had to learn to be able to separate when sometimes she thinks of how she would do it and how she thinks it would be good for her, opposed to what I think, what's best for me.
Yeah.
She always, if that makes sense, I
Yeah.
don't know if I'm, explaining it correctly, but basically I know she always has the best intention at
Right.
heart. But I can't say that I really had doubters. I actually had people being like, "Yeah, you can do this, no problem. You got this. Go for it." So I don't remember having any haters at all. Of
No.
course, I was nervous, but
Sure.
I was more excited than anything else. I
Yeah.
needed the change so bad.
Yeah. It's just like sometimes curious as people transition into the business, right? You're going from a W-2 or a salary job into a 100% commission style work. And, maybe that process was a little bit easier for you. You knew you could always go back and pick up a bar shift or whatnot, or you probably were doing both for a while. So you get licensed, right? What was the first year like? Dive into some of your struggles. What were some of the successes you had? What did that transition's hard for a bartender like you. I know because I've seen people on our team go through it. So
Um, you know, when I started, I joined a brokerage, and I knew that I'm going to need a mentor. And that's why I started where I started and who I chose to start with, because
yeah,
I had a relationship with them from the past. And, I just basically, I don't know. I mean, I don't remember really. I was just so excited about
yeah,
starting it. And so I was provided leads, and I was just calling, and it was kind of easy because they were strangers, and I would just call. And, I mean, there were certainly mistakes I made, but I feel like I was always able to play it like they didn't know that I made a mistake.
yeah.
Or if I didn't have a answer to a question that they asked me, I'd probably have given wrong answers,
Oh, sure. We
but
all
they
have.
didn't know it.
We all have.
So maybe later, if they had a conversation with somebody who was a lot more experienced than me, or has been in the business for a long time, and they said, "Yeah, this realtor told us, blah blah blah," and they're like, "What? Why would she
Yeah,
say that?" So, I always try to act like I know my stuff, because who wants to do a business with um, somebody that just started? And I feel like that. I think, you know what? Maybe that was my struggle. because in this kind of business, you depend on your sphere, you depend on your
Yeah.
friends, your family. And I feel like a lot of the people that I thought that would use me, um, and then they made an indication they would use me, ended up not using me because I
Mm.
feel like they felt I wasn't experienced or I wouldn't do a good job. Um, so that was my struggle. I'm like, why wouldn't you use me? I have like a full team behind me that will back me up, whatever you need.
Yeah.
We got you. And so I've had a couple of those where it really hurt me.
Yeah.
And I also, okay, now I think about it. Another struggle, I'm very, and I had to learn how to just kind of sit back and not react.
Yeah.
Um, um, think, take a breath and respond, not react.
Yeah.
So that was another thing that I think I struggled with a little bit. And then being depending, even though you are depending on your own um, activities and connecting with people, you are still depending on other people to take you to the finish line, right? With a
Yeah.
real estate transaction.
Yeah.
So